continued, and Lily grew accustomed to seeing shadowy figures embracing in darkened stairwells and the sound of doors being shut and locked. She'd heard many feminine giggles and the quiet hush of masculine voices. She could detect the scent of women's perfume lingering in the corridors amid the smells of beeswax candles and blazing hearths. That evening, Lily was relegated to the nursery with Nurse. Nurse had sampled the Earl's ale in great quantities and could not keep her puffy eyes open. She slept noisily in a chair near the hearth. Lily was rather eager to leave the nursery and have a peek at the adults. She stepped past her sleeping Nurse and into the corridor, taking care to shut the door quietly behind her. She ran lightly to the stairwell and hurried down to her perfect hiding place, where she could watch the comings and goings of the adults. But when she reached the first floor, she found it darker than usual. The rainy weather had led to a shortage of candles, and only 2 were lit in the long hallway. It was so dark that Lily did not, at first, detect the embracing couple until one of them whispered low. The sound startled her, and Lily quickly stepped behind a console table and crouched down. She could just make out the shadowy figures through the legs of the console. They were kissing. Lily leaned out a little to see better, but in doing so she lost her balance. She caught herself with both hands before tumbling onto the carpet, but panicking, she gasped softly and quickly pushed back, pressing her back to the wall, stifling her breath with one hand. Several moments passed before Lily dared to look again. She was disappointed to find that the couple had evaporated into the darkness. Lily stood up, carefully looked about, then darted down the corridor toward her hiding place. But as she reached the top of the very ornate curving jewel staircase that led to the floors below, a hand clamped down on her shoulder. Lily cried out with alarm as she was twirled about and forced to look up into the lovely face of Aunt Althea. Althea was none too pleased. The ruby of her lips matched the ruby of her velvet gown, and the colour in her cheeks was quite high. "What do you think you are doing, Lily?"
"Nothing, Auntie. I meant only to see the ladies' evening gowns."
Lily had used that excuse before with success, but tonight Althea would not accept it. She put both hands on Lily's shoulders and gave her a gentle shove into the corridor. "Honestly, what am I to do with you, darling? Go back to the nursery. You know very well I am to Scotland on the morrow. I must be able to depend on you to be good whilst I am away."
"I will,"
Lily promised earnestly. "No, Lily, no more of your empty vows," Althea said sternly. "There is nothing that will displease the Earl more than your bad behaviour, and if he grows weary of you, what will become of you then?" She sank to her knees so that she could look Lily in the eye. "Your mother, my dear sister, is dead. Another sister is ailing. That leaves only my youngest sister in Ireland to take you in. Do you really want to be Irish, Lily? I'll be gone for an age, and when I come back, it had best not be to my husband's complaints and demands that you pack your bags. You really must stop this spying and skulking about." Lily felt frightened and guilty.
"Yes, Auntie, I promise with all my heart."
She was very sincere. She never meant to be bad. It just seemed to happen. Her aunt softened and smiled, cupping Lily's chin. "My, how you remind me of Maria," she said, speaking of Lily's mother. "She was an imp, just like you. Not as pretty as you, I think, but just as spirited. I miss her so, and I shall miss you desperately." She smiled and kissed Lily's cheek. "Now, show me how good you shall be and go back to the nursery and stay there." She came to her feet, ran her hand over Lily's crown. "Go, before the Earl sees you." Lily ran down the corridor and up the servants' stairs to the 2nd floor. She walked into the nursery and shut the door behind her. Nurse started, but then shifted in her chair and snorted in her sleep. With a roll of her eyes, Lily climbed onto the window seat. It was dark and wet outside. The only light was that which came from the house. She traced a line down the cold, wet pane, leaving a fat trail like that of a snail. The nursery was never warm. It was far too big for the single fireplace, and Lily was always cold here. She thought it would be lovely if she had a companion, someone to share these interminably long and boring nights. A movement outside caught her eye. Lily pressed her face to the window and peered out. It was a rider. She could see him trotting past by the light of the house, moving away. Lily suddenly sat up. She knew the rider.